The journey from the surface was uneventful. The Tyranids fired volleys of acidic slime into the air, but they had no true anti-aircraft weapons or flyers, and the shots mostly went wide. The rest merely added new scars to the hulls of the ancient Thunderhawks. Aboard the Fist of the Emperor, repairs were made swiftly and the ship was up and running ahead of schedule. There were no further incursions. The Tyranids were broken in orbit and stranded on the planet, for now. Torvast held no illusions, however. Powerful psychic creatures remained alive, and whatever hive fleet had birthed them could return at any moment. As soon as the ship was ready, they translated into the warp. The crew had taken casualties, psychological and physical. The Tyranid was an extragalactic and otherworldly foe, and many of the mortals were placed into servitors or given less crucial roles aboard the ship. But there was something else at work. Something good. Torvast knew it had to be the artifact they had discovered. Had the Emperor truly walked down there? Did it truly contain a piece of his divine essence? He felt the sphere flash and respond, allowing him to channel its potency to deflect the foul sorcery of the Xenos. He felt no taint in this thing, only the Emperor's light. Arbrecht, the recently christened Emperor's champion, had made it his personal duty to guard the sphere, and Torvast knew he would have to come to blows with him to prevent it. So instead, he honored Arbrecht, giving him the title Guardian of the Light. The artifact could hardly be in more fervent hands. Captain Alaric oversaw the day-to-day of the ship and commanded with renewed purpose. His exceptional command of the landing party was noted by himself as well as the few who doubted him after the Tyranid raid aboard the Fist. But it was the moment when Torvast, injured and bleeding from the Tyranids' duplicitous attack on the Mechanicus' power generator, his Terminator armor smoking and joints catching, entrusted him with the golden sphere upon the battlefield. That all doubt as to his worthiness was erased. His loyalty to Torvast is now only superseded by his vows to his chapter and the Emperor. Ancient Barons, the venerable dreadnought, was recovered after being swamped by gene stealers. Their claws had ruined his chassis and shredded his weapons, but they had not penetrated to the sarcophagus. His anger was immense, and he swore vengeance against the Xenos, informing Torvast that if he ever discovered that the chaplain had fought the Tyranid without awakening him, there would be a reckoning. The warp was as calm as Torvast could remember. Was it the Emperor acting through the sphere? Was it luck? Could a sliver of a memory of the Emperor's power cause this effect? Of course it could. The God Emperor watched over his servants. Torvast entered the Reclusiarch's chamber dressed in his training robes. Grimaldus, similarly attired but with subtle markings of his high office decorating the hem, lifted his hand from the golden sphere. He let out a deep breath and turned to face his fellow chaplain. "You have done well, Torvast." He turned his head to glance at the artifact over his shoulder. "This is an amazing treasure. I sense no taint in it. It radiates with the Emperor's power. It is a pure reflection of how humanity once saw him. Of this I have no doubt." Torvast nodded his head. "Thank you, Reclusiarch. Such a thing is priceless beyond measure. However, I regret the loss of the battle brothers under my command." His mind immediately brought up the image of Sergeant Cadram and his aggressor squad, lost in the final battle with the Tyranids. By his own order, no less, as they were sent on a veritable suicide mission to draw the enemy's attention away from the objective. Grimaldus placed his hand on Torvast's shoulder. "This is unavoidable. I read the reports, of course. Captain Alaric and yourself exceeded my high expectations. Even without this discovery, it would be considered a victory." His face darkened as he spoke, however, continuing before Torvast could respond. "But it was not the only discovery, was it not? You also uncovered the treacherous adept Grubel. He is a stain on the Imperium." Torvast said, "Indeed, his heresy must not go unpunished. But there is so much to do here. Many Xenos and heretics are in front of us in this system already. He may escape." Grimaldus looked away and said, "No, he will not." Torvast narrowed his eyes. "Will you redirect the Crusade, then?" "No," said Grimaldus. placing the sphere in a pure white cloth and handing it to Torvast. "I will appoint a new one, with you at its head."